I just happen to be a technology leader here at Google, who has a background in marketing, technology, and behavioral science. For example, if I took all your questions and I put them into Gemini, you could actually read through this podcast and we could create an interaction like this one, which would be completely artificial, but it would also provide some value to listeners and people just looking to learn, and also see things from a different perspective, which is incredibly important, I feel. Okay. And have them understand, are we connecting with these consumers with our advertising, with our brand voice, with our campaigns in general, both in organic and paid media as examples? How can we learn at scale instead of listening to 2% of those calls? How can I listen to 100%? And this is what this technology is allowing us to do. So we have some technology in our conversational AI portfolio, in our customer engagement suite, as we call it, that puts this information in front of executives. And they're very long, difficult conversations. They're almost like therapy in a way, because you're telling them things that they don't think are actually happening in the stores or in the contact centers. And then they ask, well, this has to be a one-off, right? And then the large language models and other bolted-on AI technologies will say, actually, 2% of your calls in 10 million are actually relating to this particular issue. And they're like, we had no idea. And then they ask the question, how can we not, like, how come our people aren't telling us these things, right? And so there's a whole, I would say, litany of behavioral reasons why people don't report these particular issues. But now we can use technology in order to kind of give you the truth of what's happening, so that you can actually action on it. Right? People who are fed disinformation, which is quite rampant, I would say, in the world these days, are more likely to engage in a conversation with a model or a computer or an application than they will with a human being, because they feel like they're not being judged by the computer. Another one, a secret that people don't necessarily know: I don't eat as much ice cream as when I was a kid. And the simple reason why I don't eat as much ice cream is because I don't bring it into my house. If it's in the house, you eat it. If you decide to choice architecture it out, you won't eat it. So my challenge to the team and all the listeners here is to go pin your favorite generative agent onto your desktop, and when you see it, you will be more apt to use it if it's open and ready to go. I think that we've got some customers now that have told us, who have not used some of our technology to go directly to, the end, let's say, product of the actual advertising campaign to production. They've cut down their storyboarding process, right, or their overall, let's say, campaign process from like 12 to like 4 weeks, by removing a big chunk of the upfront creative. So that's what I see. If we don't get smarter about how we actually, address the work that we have ahead of us, but also eliminate some of the work that is creating the issues, we're not gonna survive as a species. We will be crushed by just more mindless work and not addressing the real root problems that we need to solve.